It was the largest single day of protests yet against Trump's second term, with more than 1,000 rallies taking place and millions participating. The focus of the demonstrations was on Trump's attacks on democracy, his economic and immigration policies, and the role of Elon Musk in the government. One thing organizers, however, didn't include in their list of grievances was the ongoing genocide in Gaza, an exclusion that was made in order to get Democratic members of Congress who support Israel to participate in the rallies. But in Washington, D.C., masses turned out for a separate protest focused on Gaza and the complicity of the United States in Israel's war crimes. For the third year in a row, tens of thousands mobilized in the nation's capital on behalf of Palestinian liberation and against Israel's ethnic cleansing. Over 50,000 Palestinians and likely a lot more have been killed in Israel's assault on Gaza. Over 1,200 have been killed in just the last month since Israel resumed its campaign after a ceasefire to start the year. Protesters in Washington also took aim at the Trump administration's disappearing of student activists who have engaged in anti-genocide protests. Demonstrators marched to the D.C. headquarters of ICE to demand the release of Mahmoud Khalil and others who've been targeted. Reporter Jessel Noor was there and spoke to some of the rally-goers. Here's what they had to say.
We're here today, demanding the release of Mahmoud Khalil, of Rumaysa Ozturk, of everyone who's been unjustly detained by ICE. Because every single American should care about what's happening right now. The attacks are coming first for the movement on Palestine, but as Marco Rubio himself said, it doesn't matter what movement you're a part of, at some point, this repression is coming for all of us, and it's a time to fight back.
I am here because we have witnessed 18 months of brutal genocide in Gaza at the hands of the U.S. and Israel. I am here because we, as people that are living in the United States, our taxpayer dollars, instead of going to education and to housing and to food, they are going to supply a genocide. They are going to drop more and more bombs to slaughter children.
I'm here because the Trump administration is trying to quash the Palestine movement. They've tried to scare us by kidnapping our brother Mahmoud, our sister Rumaysa, targeting many more students. There's 16 students from Los Angeles that just had their visas revoked today. But none of this is working. It's all going to backfire.
As the entire country was protesting against his administration, Trump was down in Florida, playing golf and bragging to reporters about how he won his golf tournament. He is a notorious liar and golf cheater, though, so he probably didn't win, but whatever. Give him the green jacket if he'll just shut up about it. Because even worse than the president golfing while the citizenry protests his war crimes, Trump on Monday invited the biggest war criminal in the world right now to the White House. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made his second trip to Washington this year to discuss the campaign against Gaza with the president who is providing much of the bombs to carry it out. Netanyahu is a fugitive with a warrant for his arrest issued by the International Criminal Court last year. And just ahead of his visit to the White House, Israeli forces killed a U.S. citizen in the occupied West Bank. There's also worldwide condemnation against the Israeli military for its massacring of more than a dozen Palestinian rescue workers last week. Trump used the visit to once again make his pitch for a U.S. military occupation of Gaza.
You know how I feel about the Gaza Strip. I think it's an incredible piece of important real estate, and I think it's something that we would be involved in, but having a peace force like the United States there, controlling and owning the Gaza Strip would be a good thing. Because right now, all it is for years and years, all I hear about is killing and Hamas and problems. And if you take the people, the Palestinians, and move them around to different countries, and you have plenty of countries that will do that, and you really have a freedom zone. You call it the freedom zone. I don't understand why Israel ever gave it up. Israel owned it. It wasn't this man, so I can say it. He wouldn't have given it up. I know him very well. There's no way. They took oceanfront property and they gave it to people for peace. How did that work out? Not good.
Honestly, the more time Trump spends on the golf course instead of doing that, instead of advocating for ethnic cleansing with war criminals, the better. Until then, though, the mass protests must continue. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new videos. Also, if you want to see Means Morning News in its complete form, not just the clips we post here, head on over to Means TV and get access to all our new episodes and our entire backlog, plus tons of other great movies and original TV shows.